welcome back to my channel. I am back. Hopefully this is after I've posted my first video back, like back, we'll see. Today, oh, that reminds me of that TikTok sound. I don't know, that sound was like today. Oh, it was Cardi B. Y'all, I'm already getting distracted. So today, or this week, on Love Island USA. Cut, take two. I'm gonna be trying to get through, like read 3 books that I own. They're right here. I ended up getting into a little bit of a slump. I haven't really posted books that I've read lately. I haven't been doing my wrap-ups. I don't think I've done a wrap-up. It's September. Today's the 10th. Yeah, today's the 10th. I have finally finished a book this month, but I guess I just read so much in August. I don't even know how many books I read in August, but I know like August was like the month that I was back. And I read so much, so many J.L. Seegers, NJ Weeks. I might do a video summarizing what I've read and what I didn't like, what I DNF, because I have not been shy with the DNFs. If something's not holding my attention, to the pile you go. I guess I kind of got into a little slump and I wasn't really feeling anything. I've been listening to some audiobooks from the library, but when I reorganized my shelf, there were some books, you know, that caught my eye. So the way that I have it organized, this white shelf, well, they're both white, but this one are all the books that I have not read yet. However, I think at some point I'm gonna have to just rearrange them. So either turn the books that I have read with the spine face, not the spine, but with the pages facing out, so like this, or shuffle them, so put them at the bottom, because I don't want to have the finished books at the top, but we'll get to it. I definitely have room on this shelf. These are all the books that I've read, with the exception of this one. I don't know why that one's right there. I probably didn't have room on that side and didn't want to put it on top of anything. I say that all to say that I have started picking books from my shelf. The first book that I picked was this one. It's called Promposal. I believe I got this book like 2 years ago. Ever since I got it, I've wanted to read it. One of the reasons why I don't like buying books, not only because I'm cheap, but I tend to not prioritize books that I own because I own them, so I can pick them up at any time. I'm not gonna say I've been struggling through it, but I guess my mind is just everywhere with, you know, all the books that I have. I read till chapter 9. This is my Tania Montfort bookmark. Oh, this way. She has it like this. I also want to do some author spotlight videos. I've been wanting to do that for probably a year now and just haven't done it. So I have started this. We're not going to get into it just yet because I'm not actively reading it right now. I did, however, finish Scarred. I ended up starting this one, reading a little bit, but for some reason I wanted something spicy, so I wanted to read Scarred. Now, Scarred is the second book. I guess I can go ahead and talk about it. I typically don't talk about books that I've already read. When I do my reading vlogs, I like to talk about it like as I'm reading it for the video. And this one, I've already read it. I guess this can be the first book that I speak about. This is the first book in the series called Hooked. Personally, I did enjoy this. Okay? I did enjoy this. I heard that this one is better. I ended up giving this like a 3.5. I think had I read this in the moment when I bought it, it for sure would have been maybe a 5-star. I will say that these two are drastically different in my opinion. Take that with a grain of salt because I don't remember much of this one. And it might not be as spicy as I remember, but I remember this being very spicy. Like the main difference between these two, I would say this is a spicy book and this is a book with spice. Problem is, I picked this up wanting to read the spice, but also remembering how spicy this was and was kind of let down with this because it's a slow burn and it's like we really don't get those spicy scenes until later, and then it's like when we do, I wasn't really interested because it was a little bland in my opinion. I would say this is more plot driven than Hooked. Hooked, I mean, if you took the spice out, did we really have that much book? This, if you took this, you could take the spice out all you want. It really don't matter. What was it about? They're not retellings necessarily, but they're like reimaginings. This one is Peter Pan and this one is The Lion King. Mind you, I do not like The Lion King at all. I can't stand the Lion King. Prince Scar? No, Prince Tristan, but he's known as the Scarred Prince, so he is Scar? Is that his name from the Lion King? The evil brother? That's Tristan. And then his brother, King Michael, is whatever the Lion King's daddy is. What's the Lion King? Oh, Simba. Whatever Simba's daddy's name is. That's who he is. And then you have our princess. Well, she's not a princess, but we have our FMC in here. What's her name? Sarah. Oh my gosh, when I read this, I was like, Sarah. Sarah is such a bland name. And I think that wasn't helping Sarah's case in this book. Mind you, Sarah is the name of one of my favorite characters in a movie. Sarah from Save the Last Dance with Derek. Julia Stiles plays Sarah. But in this book, I didn't like the name in this book. Long story short, Michael is king. Their father has died or been... Sarah is sent off to be married to Michael. This is all a plot of her and her uncle and cousin, the uncle's son, who works under King Michael to, I guess, overthrow the government, them all, you know? But on the other hand, Prince Tristan has some things up his sleeves as well. Again, it was more plot driven, which is fine, but I just kind of feel indifferent about the book. So after that, I was like, I need to pick something else. And this is another book that I'd been eyeing. So this is called Not So Perfect Strangers by L.S. Stratton. This is a thriller. I love the cover. It has the car right here and a woman, a white woman specifically. There's a reason. I am on page 110 in chapter 17. I'm in Madison's POV. I still have not reread this synopsis. I got this book probably last year sometime and I wanted to read it right then and there. I didn't. I did end up reading a book by this author already. I did enjoy it. I was rudely cut off yesterday. Y'all know, well, those of you who know, you know I don't like filming with other people around, and my mom got home yesterday because I was taking too long with what I was saying. I could have come back in because she went to her room and her room was all the way down. I do know I was talking about this book. I'm already probably a little past half. This looks like 51% to me. You know what? Let's figure it out. 309 pages. My Android. What did I say? 309? Okay. I'm 54% of the way through because the book is short. So this isn't first person, but each chapter is one of the characters. And we start, I guess, with the prologue. No, it just says now. And it's just chapter 1. There's no person, like there's no name, but as you read it, you know it's Tasha. So there's two main characters, like female main characters. There's Tasha, who is black, and then there's Madison, who is white. Tasha in chapter 1 has just set fire, or that's the way it's kind of described, that she set fire to this house and she just feels so guilty, so she calls the cops and then she admits that she did it. But there's more to that story because one of the cops or detectives that gets on the scene, he is also black, which I think kind of saved her in a way because the other cop was non-black. I don't remember exactly what they described him as, but you could say like he already knew like she was guilty and stuff, and the black cop or detective was like, slow your roll. Like she didn't even know that the two victims who were still in the house were shot first before it like caught fire. She didn't even know that. So anyway, so that's how we first meet Tasha, and then we go backwards. We start at the very beginning, and at the very beginning, Tasha and her son Galen, they are in some kind of hotel because she and her son, who is 17, are leaving her husband because he is abusive. Physically, mentally, verbally. Now, it's described that it's more so towards her and not the son. But I think that him being in that kind of environment, there are many different ways that you can come out. I'm already halfway through and I can already see the way that he's turning out. But again, that's a whole nother thing. She comes back to the room and he's gone. He said that it's fine. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to go back because obviously he doesn't want to move. He has a girlfriend. He doesn't want to leave his dad either. So she ends up going back. However, on her way back home, she is stopped somewhere. I guess maybe by some kind of gala outside somewhere. And Madison shows up. And she's like, let me in, let me in. And, you know, she turns on the waterworks. Now, I remember thinking at the time, like, this woman. Because we were introduced to Madison before that happened. And we saw how her scene played out to where she got to, like, be knocking on the window, she knows that her husband is cheating on her, and like she runs away. Now we do find out more to her personal story, not necessarily in that relationship, but just more to her and how she became to be who she is. And I'm glad that we had that, because I remember thinking in my head, like, I think we're getting started on like a misunderstanding, because it's very obvious that Tasha has been abused. She's very upfront about it as far as like the physical abuse and all that. And I feel like the way Madison kind of tiptoes around it, it's like she's not necessarily lying, but she's not telling all the truth, because she was making it sound like her husband is also the same. But, and I'm trying to think, like, maybe am I gaslighting myself, or like, is he? I don't think he is though. So that's how they meet, and they end up exchanging numbers, and Madison has this idea of how she can save them both. I'm enjoying it. The pacing is a bit weird, because I feel like I've read so much and yet not much at all, but I guess the length of the book, I mean, it's a small book or short book, but I am enjoying it. I still have not picked up Proposal. Well, I haven't picked it back up yet. I did get some mail today from Tania Montford, one of my favorite authors. She has so many books. I've read them all. I've read most of them as ARCs, except for one, and the one that I did not get as an ARC is my favorite book of hers. But she has this series, and this is the first book called Lush. But I got this sticker. I'm gonna put this on my Kindle case. Bookmark. No, I'm not using her bookmark now. I thought I was. And some art, character art. Well, that's the book cover. Yeah, this is the book, Lavish. And then I thought I was using her bookmark. Oh, I am. I'm using this one. I love these kind of bookmarks. I read a little further yesterday. I'm not gonna say last night, because I did read yesterday. My plan was to finish the book, but I didn't. It is 10:45. I'm your basic average girl, and I'm here to save the world. You can't stop me, cause I'm impossible. Let me let Christina sing that. But it's 10:45 a.m. and it's the time of the day where my room is situated, or where my window is situated in my room. The sun has to make itself around, so that's why it's not as bright. I mean, at least it's daylight outside, but anyway. Now, my plan was to finish this yesterday. I did not. I don't have that much left, which I said that yesterday. And here we are. I'm on page 237, chapter 32, Madison's POV. I just wanted to say one quick thing. I did mention something about Tasha's son. Yeah, because I mentioned about how in that type of environment, there's many different ways that a person can come out, especially a child specifically. I said I wasn't surprised by how I think he's turning out. And the reason why I said that is because there is a part in this book, I guess it's towards the beginning, where Tasha and Madison are having lunch. And Madison makes a comment, and I'm like, you know what? You said it. And I feel like her saying something was kind of, you know, I used context clues. I'm like, I feel like this is foreshadowing something. That's kind of where I'm at. And I feel like we've been getting little hints here and there about Tasha's son. Yeah, so that's interesting. The book itself, it's definitely not a 5-star. I guess it could depend on the ending of the book, but as of right now, I'm like a 4-star. The pacing is a bit odd. And when I say pacing, I guess I'm more so talking about how everything is unfolding, like the story itself. It's a bit odd, but not like in a bad way. I just don't know how this is gonna end. I am not gonna read right now. It is Friday, and we will be going to the nursing home today, knock on wood. Oh yeah, I never mentioned the reason why, you know, I kind of stopped reading for a while, which if you look at all the months that I've been reading, there is no month that I did not read, but the number of books is very different. Back in March, I want to say like March 31st, March 29th. Girl, I don't remember. It was a Sunday. My mama remembers the date. I think I mentioned in videos after that, you know, something was going on. I don't know why I just didn't say what it was. Everybody and their mama know. At least like people that I know. But my grandma had a stroke back in March, and that has affected everything. For me, I mean, obviously it affected her, but for me specifically, it definitely took me out of reading. It wasn't until, so that was the end of March. April was a normal-ish month. I tried to keep going. May wasn't too good. June wasn't too good. And July wasn't too good. I got back into it around August, and when I say I got back into reading, I mean like probably 10 books. You know what? I'm curious because I haven't posted anything about exactly what I've been reading. So let me check my story graph because I'm so curious. Actually, when I got back into reading and I was like logging in my reading on Storygraph, I didn't know what I was doing because they had some kind of an update. And I was like so confused. I'm like, what is this? March was when it happened. So in March, just to give you a few numbers, I read 13 books. April, I ended up reading 12 books. That was kind of normal-ish for me. May, I read 6 books. There was one month that I did not read, but it wasn't like a month, like June. It was more like if I finished that on May 23rd, so it would be like from May 24th till like June 30th. You know what I mean? That type of a month. Now in June, I read 3 books. And all 3 of those books I had started previously in May, I believe. I didn't really start anything new in June. Those are three books that I finished. I finished one on June 2nd, June 3rd, and then June 23rd. And then July was still 3 books in July. But July is when I was kind of like, okay, we need to get back into reading. And on July 23rd, I finally finished my first book in a while. August, I'm so curious to see how many I read in August. August, I was like back in action. The only reason why there were little books read in July is because I ended up doing that like the end of the month. Oh, I read 21 books in August. That's a lot. I ended up binging. Maybe I should do a video on that. I don't know. Y'all know I don't like those kinds of videos. But I ended up binging majority of J.L. Seeger's and N.J. Weeks. I was able to finish Not So Perfect Strangers yesterday before we left the home. I'm gonna give this a 4-star. What's so crazy is I think I did say, because I started editing the video already, I did mention that the way it ends would depend, no, my final rating would depend on the ending. And I never mentioned this, but as I was reading like the last 2 clips where I logged in my thoughts, I was getting kind of antsy because I'm like, ugh. It just felt like we were kind of going in circles and I was just waiting for something to happen. And finally at the end, something starts happening, and there was one thing, one moment that I did not guess at all. Overall, I'm definitely gonna give this a 4-star. I did bookmark a section. I just want to read this quote. I'm not gonna tell you who said it. I'm not gonna tell you where it is in the book. I just wanted to read this. There's no context around it. I'm just reading the quote. But the person says, "What I didn't do to my husband, what I held back," she gives a shrug, "I may have all saved up for you." When I read that, I was like, yeah, I did enjoy this. I'm gonna put it right back on my shelf somewhere. As far as what I want to read next, this video is supposed to be for books that I own. Oh, technically I should be reading this one. And I think I said it somewhere in here. I said proposal. It's not proposal, it's promposal. As of right now though, I'm currently reading, well, I'm almost, I have like 46 minutes left of the audiobook of King of Ashes, or Kings of Ashes. I think it's just King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby. And then I just started When Javi Dumped Marie. I am on page 42-43. This is from the library though, so technically I can't talk about either of those in here. So I'm either gonna pick one more book. I just don't see myself reading this right now. You know what? I'm gonna bring it with me. We're going back today. Oh, look, my little bag. I got this for Christmas last year. So I'll put my book in there. I have my Kindle. I don't think I need a bookmark. Yeah, I have one already. So I guess I'm gonna just bring this with me. Today is Saturday, September 13th, and I was finally able to publish my first video back, which was really fun. I think I might also bring something else. This is what my shelf is looking like. These are all the books I haven't read yet. I don't know if there's anything that's catching my eye. Oh, there is one book, but I feel like I really want to save it because I think I want to do like a fall reading vlog maybe. Fall is near, yada yada yada, which I'm not really into reading for the season. That's not really something I'm into. I just kind of read whatever I want. Only seasonal books that I don't like reading are Christmas books. unless it's spicy. That's the only kind. That's the only kind I'll read. Oh, you know what I might bring? I remember when this book came out and a lot, oh, one side. And a lot of people didn't really like it because they were under the impression that it was a romance. And it's not. It's like a women's fiction with a subplot of romance. Savvy Sheldon Feels Good. I'm glad I never got rid of it. I'm definitely into those kinds of books now. I don't think it can fit in my bag. Let me just stick with the books I got. I have decided to continue Promposal, so I will have one more book for this video. I am on page 210 to 11. I'm past the halfway mark now. This is a YA romance. We have Autumn. Autumn is a high school senior and she has just been waitlisted from her dream school. She's like, okay, well, I need something more to stand out because she can add more to what she sent into that college. I forgot how she finds this. It might be her guidance counselor maybe, but there's some kind of black business entrepreneurship club at her school and she joins. It just so happens that the guy who broke her heart actually comes up with an idea for her to open up like her own business, and it's called Promposal. Because at the very beginning, she ends up throwing some kind of promposal for someone that she knows or a friend of hers, something like that. It goes well, so they turn it into a business. His name is Makai, by the way. I didn't say that. They explain like how he broke her heart and whatnot. Obviously, there's something in it for him. I've actually passed up the part where he kind of says what's in it for him. I didn't know what he was talking about, to be honest. I must have just been reading with my eyes and not like my eyes and my mind, if you know what I mean. There's a little more to this than just a romance, of course. I mean, it's YA, and I always say that YA romances always have a little more to it than adult romances because there's this whole coming of age aspect. But there's, you know, more to the story of Makai and Autumn because whatever happened between them also ruined a friendship that she had, and so there's some of that in here. It's good. I always say that after after I give the synopsis for a book, which kudos to me because I did a really good job with the synopsis, if I say so myself. I just feel like it's too long. It's 354 pages, which I feel like the average length for a book in general is like anywhere from 330 to 350. For me, once we start getting into 360, like 360 plus pages, that's kind of where I draw the line and I'm like, okay, that's a long book. And this is on the long side, especially for a romance. I will say that it being a YA, there's more to it than just a romance. So it can kind of get away with being longer, but I kind of want to be done. You know, like I can't believe I still have over 100 pages left. I did also go to the library. I thought I was gonna have to pick my dad up. I did not, but I was there anyway. So I got some books. I got 3, 4, 5 books, including the one that I think I mentioned already, When Javi Dumped Marie. I still need to read that. That's my main priority. I did go ahead and download the audiobook for it to maybe listen to a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna put these in a video. No, I know I am. I just don't know what that video is gonna be. So I got The Next Best Fling. This is an adult romance. I think it has like fake dating in it. The Romance Rivalry. This is by Susan Lee. She's the author that wrote Soulmates and The Name Drop. I ended up getting The Name Drop as an an e-arc off of NetGalley, I guess, what, 2 years ago now, 3 years ago maybe, and I loved it. And then I ended up reading Soulmates. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember much about Soulmates. I know I didn't enjoy it as much as The Name Drop, but I see she had a new one, so. And who knows, this might not even be new necessarily. I think my library puts books with like a new tag, but it's because it's new to the library, not necessarily a new 2025 release. Queen Spade. I debated on whether or not to get this because I know that my library has the audiobook, and knowing me, I'm gonna probably listen to the audiobook, but I got it just in case. Same thing with this. I just don't know if there is an audiobook. I didn't check. Great Black Hope. I feel like this might give me maybe some S.A. Cosby vibes. Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. And then The Secrets We Keep. I have read a book by this author already. I read probably like 4 years ago now, 5 years ago, After the Ink Dries, which was really great. I've come back with my final thoughts for Promposal. I ended up finishing this around 8:40, 8:30, anywhere from like 8:35 p.m. to 8:50. I gave this a 3.5. It was good. It was okay. I think that it got stale at some point for me. I guess maybe around the halfway mark. I think it was also kind of feeling like I have so much left, but yet it's a romance. It shouldn't be this long. And also, I wasn't really a big fan of the reasoning why Makai and Autumn weren't not necessarily together, but the whole going back and forth of like them having close moments and then one of them kind of backing away physically and figuratively, and that was a little annoying. But I mean, it's a YA. I mean, what else did I expect? Not that all YA are like that. I also have to remind myself like I'm not the main demographic for this kind of book, so of course now that I'm older I'm gonna be thinking of it in another light. But all in all, I'm happy that I bought it. It wasn't bad necessarily. That's it for today's video. What video was this? Oh, reading my physical books. I can't believe I got through 3 physical books that I own. So now I guess I need to put this back on my shelf. And I think I decided, since there's really no room, I mean there is room here, I just don't really want to put them there. Even though I might have to put this one here, might as well. But I have decided to just go ahead and turn them around to where you see, this part, not like the spine part, but the paper part, so like this. So far I have one turn that way. I have the Not So Perfect Strangers book turn that way. That's it for today's video. If you reached the end of it, comment down below this emoji, and I'll see you next week. Bye!